Here is your Algebra 2 Semester 1 review. So number 1, we're starting with our order of operations. Remember, you start with parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication and division. And so multiplication and division happen right there. That is 3 times 2. And then we also have 14 divided by 2. And we need to do these left to right, so technically I'm going to do this first. Now I can also make this move and it doesn't affect the outcome or change the answer. So I'm going to do that as well. And then again I said when, so because multiplication and division are on the same level, power level, we do those, or operational level, we do those left to right. And same here. With this addition and subtraction, I need to do 5 plus 6 first, not because it's just adding. Really I could change this to be S and then A. But in the problem, I have to go from left to right with these two operations. So I have to add 5 and 6 and then take 7 away from that in the end. So that's why 4 is the answer. Same idea here on number 2. So we have 8 times negative 3 minus negative 2 divided by 5 times negative 2 squared. Notice when I substitute there, I used parentheses. So on top, first thing I would do is when I see subtracting a negative, I chop it. So we have, and then I need to do it in parentheses first. So I have 8 times negative 1, which is negative 8. So I've got negative 8 on the top of my fraction bar. On the bottom, what I need to do first is the exponents. So I have negative 2 squared, which is, careful, a positive 4. Negative 2 times itself. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. On the bottom, I get 20. Now I can divide both of these by 4. So my best answer is, and the answer that will be on the multiple choice final, is negative 2/5. A real estate broker earns a base salary of $27,000 and a commission of 5% on sales. How much real estate does the broker have to sell to earn a total of $70,000? So this is base commission and then 5% on all sales. So what I want to know is the total sales amount. We're talking real estate. Houses aren't cheap, and realtors sell several houses a year. So we're talking, I'm thinking a realtor sells a lot of value of houses. They don't get to keep all that, only 5% for this realtor, which is actually higher than most anyway. So their total needs to equal what they make from the base salary plus commissions. I'm going to have to abbreviate that. Base salary is $27,000. Commission is their total sales, X, times 5%, which is 0.05. And that needs to equal $70,000. So then from here, we subtract 27,000. So we get 0.05, or 5% of their total sales has to come from their commission, which is $43,000. Then we divide by 0.05 to actually calculate how much sales they generated. And you might be astounded. The calculator will say this. It's not how much money they make. That's how many houses that's the total value of the houses they sold. And that makes sense to me for a realtor. Number 4, we're solving this equation. I see some distribution I have to do here. Be careful on the second distribution. That's a negative 2 we're distributing in. So we get 15x minus 45 plus negative 14 plus 8x equals negative 13. From here, we're going to combine like terms. I can combine these x's right here, and I'll combine the constants right there. So we get 23x minus 59 equals negative 13. Add 59. 23x equals 46. So then x equals 2 by dividing by 23. Next one, we're solving for y. So you want to ask yourself, hey, what's being done to y? It is being multiplied by negative 3. Because I like to chop slash that. It's being multiplied by negative 3. It's also getting added to by 7x. And when I solve equations, when I undo things, I have to undo from the bottom up. So we're going to subtract 7x on each side. Careful, make sure you bring down this negative 3y. So we get negative 3y. We cannot combine these two things because they're not like terms. You only add x's with x's and numbers with numbers. They're not the same term, so we don't add them. Now to get y by itself, you divide by negative 3. And then we simplify these fractions if we can. Well, you're probably like, I can't reduce any of the numbers, but negative divided by a negative is a positive. So the best answer is going to be positive 7 divided by positive 3 times x, and positive 2/3. Because again, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. All right. Here we are, the formula for the surface area of a cylinder is as such, where h is the height and r is the radius, solve for h. So again, same thing, what's being done to h? It's being multiplied by 2 pi r. And it's being added to by 2 pi r squared. So we undo addition first by subtracting. So I'm going to subtract 2 pi r squared. And what I do to one side of the equal sign, I need to do to the other side of the equal sign. So now on the left, I get v minus 2 pi r squared equals whatever is remaining on my right side, which is going to be 2 pi rh. Let's just move this guy over. And I'm looking right here, folks. There's a lot of stuff going on. So I'm bringing down this 2 pi rh. 2 pi rh. Now that's getting, h is again what I'm focusing on. I wanted to get this all by itself. So it's not by itself. It's being multiplied by that 2 pi r. So to undo multiplication, I'm going to divide by 2 pi r. And then I'm going to take everything over here and divide that by 2 pi r. So the 2's cancel out, the pi's cancel out, the r's cancel out. So h equals v minus 2 pi r squared over 2 pi r. Now folks, there are two terms here. There is this term and this term. And they're both getting divided by the 2 pi r. So we can't do the canceling that we did on the right side. So that is your final answer. If you want to write h on the left, that's okay, or that's probably better. H is, what is h? H is all of this stuff, v minus 2 pi r squared divided by 2 pi r. Should I stop this video here? Should I keep going? I'll just finish number 7. So the directions for here are to solve the equation and show your work. A music store has a CD sale. The cost of each CD is half the cost of each additional CD is half the cost of the first CD. You spend $21 for the first 3 CDs. How much did the first CD cost? So X is going to equal first CD cost. So I bought 3 CDs. So CD1, that's like a subscript, CD2 plus CD3 equals $21. So my first CD is X, the cost of the first CD. The second CD cost half of that, so 1/2 X, and the third CD again is still half of the original or the first CD's cost. So we can combine like terms here. 1 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 is 2. 2 x's equal $21. So then x equals $10.50. Remember, x represents the cost of the first CD. So the cost of first CD is $10.50. All right, that's the end of page 1A. I'm going to stop this video and I'll start number 8 in a second.